Hello friends, welcome back again. So in this tutorial we talk about the C++, how we can use the structure. Okay, so this is totally like same that we done in the C. So structure is also user defined, okay, but the collection of data type is different. You can use int, float, char. Whether if you talk about the array, this is the same data structure, so it can contain the same data types. Let us suppose if you took the array, if you define the array, so you can use either int or float, or you can say char. You can't say that the particular array can be the integer, can be the float, or can be the character. It can't be possible. So to achieve the heterogeneous, to achieve that we can define the different data type in the one unit, we came with the concept of structures. Okay, so structure can store the different data types, and we can access with the help of member of the structure. Okay, so we know the syntax like that defined on your screen. You can see the struct is a predefined word. It is a keyword that we have to use. Then you can give the structure name any name that you want to use. You can use int, float, and whether you want to use int, that is a data type. After you can give the name of variable or memory space. Okay, so after the completion of structure, you can define the member of the structure. Then you use terminator, that this is the end of your structure. Okay, so then how we can use and how we can access the variables that is defined in the structure, that we will learn in these tutorials. This is a major thing that why we use classes in the C++. Every data type in the structure is public. We can't hide the data because it is available to the whole program. In classes, we can hide our data. We can choose that which information from the classes can be shown outside the class or not. So this is totally possible in the classes. So that is why I define the structure here, and then I will use the classes, so you can able to identify and able to analysis that what is the difference between the structure and classes and why they came with the classes. Okay, so I hope you understand this whole the scenario. So let's move on our IDE. Okay, we are in our IDE. So here we have to define the structure that I mentioned in the syntax. Okay, so that is written in the screen. So first you have to use struct, that is a keyword. Then you can give the name. So I give the name student. You can give the short name. So here is a body of our structure. So I use int roll number. Then I use here total marks. So I want to give the small name TMRK. So here I want to use name also. So I add here char. Then I give the random for name. So my name can store only 25 characters. So I define the array here, so we can access the array here. Okay, so this is the array, single dimensional array, where we can store the 25 character. Okay, so here we have to define the member data of the member of the structure, which helps us that we can access the variables through the member in the void main, in the int main. Okay, in the main function. So my member is st, yeah, or we can use mbr or m1. Okay, whatever the name you want to use here, this is your choice. Okay, we define the variable here. So I print the message here, enter the name comma roll number and total marks of the student. Okay, so I use scene. So my first variable should be the name, so I use nm. So it is very easy. You need not to define here %d or %f or anything. Okay, so scene arrow is like this, greater than sign, or we can say the input operator. So first is nm, the second one is, so I want to add the space, so I use /t. okay, so another is roll number, so roll number, so I want to use some other space, so I use /t, one tab space. So name, roll number, then we have to define the total marks, so tmark. Okay, but the variable belong to the structure, so we can't access these variables just like this, because this is not defined in the main. This is defined in the structure, which is outside the main function. So if we want to use this nm, roll number, total marks, we have to use first member. We have to define member, then we have to dot is sign for access. So m1 can access roll number dot roll number, it can access total marks, or it can access name. Okay, nm. So I have to define here, so m1 dot nm. Okay, so n1 dot roll number, n1 dot roll number, so it can display how many variables it can access. So it shows you 3 variables here, m1 dot total marks. So I want to print the message here, so I use cout. So first roll number is m1 dot roll number. So I just use the wrong operator, so here is output operator, so I have to use like this. Okay, so I want to add /n, so I use /n here. Another is name. Okay, name /n name. Then I want to define name is defined in m1 dot nm, so we can access the variable or structure with the help of member. You can see here the last one is total marks, so I use /n here, then I use total marks is m1 dot total marks. So this is the whole program that we written here. So we will notice again what we wrote the code here. So we defined the structure with the name of struct. Okay, struct is a keyword, is a predefined word, so you can create the structure here with the using struct keyword. So then we gave the name of our structure student. Then we mentioned the variables that we want to use, that is roll number, total marks, char, that is integer and char. You can see that is a different type of data types, and that is why I called it is that heterogeneous. Then we define the member m1, then you know whatever we wrote in main. This is very simple. Then how we can access the variable in the main using member function. Then we use dot, that is the access operator here. Okay, so m1 dot nm, we can read the data and then again we write it. Okay, so I will run this code. Okay, maybe this is the problem, that is why it is unable to read. endl, you can use endl, that is end line. So I rerun again. This is the problem. Okay, I will cut it down. So it creates some problem here. So I remove this and rerun again. Okay, so it creates some problem here, so that is why I remove this new line, or you can use in the separate scene. So I'm so sorry for that. So we will write again. So first we have to use the name. So I mentioned the name here is Sam. Then we have to mention the roll number 1221. Then we have total marks 400. So you can see here roll number is 212, name is Sam, and total marks is 400. So this way you can use this. Okay, so to overcome that this way you can use this. So to overcome that, our members that is defined in the structure, it will not be exposed outside the structure, outside the scope of the structure. So we achieve with the help of classes. And the next things that we want to discuss about the next tutorial, that is the classes, and what is the difference between the classes and the structure. Everything is same, but the exposure of the variables to the outside world, that is more secure, is more private in the classes. We can adjust it whatever the thing and whatever the data and variables should be exposed outside or not, but in structure it should not be possible because everything is public. I hope you will understand this. So thanks for watching this video.